I was having a conversation with one of my coworkers today, a young man named Connor. And we were talking about, he said, why is it that the guys in the red hats don't ever seem to be too bright? And I said, why do you think? He's like, I don't know. That's why I'm asking. He's 20. And I started talking about politics to him. And a lot of your political development and how you align is based on your personality and your personality traits. And a lot of conservatives are conservative because they don't have the intellectual acumen to deal with new things. Take they or them, the use of pronouns, really screwed up the right. It's brand new, they didn't know how to handle it. The trans thing, it's not brand new, but it's much more upfront. They don't know how to handle it. Whereas if you're more liberal, you're more open to new ideas and you can adapt. And I said there's also a religious component because we can see it. Trump's using it, making him akin to Jesus, according to him. Not that I'm saying that, but what Trump is doing. And you look at that relationship with Christianity. I'm a Roman Catholic. And I say it like that because Christianity, as the religious set, when it originated, the first big divide is between East and West, the Byzantine Empire and the Roman Empire, where Christianity became the religion of the empire. And it divided to Eastern Orthodox, which is Russian and Greek, and to Catholic in Europe. And it was exclusively Catholic until the Protestant Reformation. The Protestant offshoots, that's descendants that are here, have been steadily eroding people's intellectual curiosity. Because for a certain extent, like if you're saying there are people that are witches and you believe that, it doesn't mean that you're dealing with a full deck of cards. Possession by devils and things to that akin. And that's what you're hearing on the right. They read the Bible and don't read the Bible at the same time. If you're reading the Bible and you're reading the New Testament, Jesus is the most woke brown person who's ever lived, and he's the first brown person to be killed, not really, but first publicly famous person at that time to be killed, and he was brown, and he was put to death, and he was crucified. And it wasn't as though Monty Python was there singing, always, look for the bright side of life. But the willingness to follow religious dogma and not separate from it, not be able to deviate. When you start talking to these people, these Christian nationalists, and you say, what about all the people that don't believe what you believe? Well, you're going to go to hell. And that's one sect of Christianity. So if you're Baptist, if you're Lutheran, if you're Seventh-day Evangelical, you're all on the other side that's not Catholic. And these loons have taken the religious aspect and then the misogynistic aspect, because look what they're calling for. The guy who's running for North Carolina's governor said that women should lose the 19th Amendment. The 170 Republicans in Congress said that IVF and a nationwide abortion ban is what they want if they get power. It's all related. They're conservative in thinking because they cannot adapt to something new. They're bound by a religion that they will not actually look at the tenets of the religion and what Jesus taught, but they're changing it into some Christo-fascist religion like Jesus ever thought about America. There was no America. The people in the Mediterranean 2,000 years ago barely knew that the Mediterranean existed, and maybe a little bit that was outside of it. These people are so beyond ignorant. And then you also have one last aspect, is the massive amount of money that the GOP has underfunded education in our society since 1974. And why is that year important? Well, that's when the last of the lawsuits fell down that allowed for segregation in white religious schools in the South. Education. It's the golden ticket. And the GOP has been denying it to people in the South. So they have an ignorant voting class that will continue to vote in people who take away their rights, will take away their retirement, will hurt people on the rainbow, will hurt minorities. And like lemmings off a cliff, these GOP members keep going along. I hope that abortion will wake them up. We've seen it a little bit in Alabama, and every special election that has to do with it since the Dobbs has been won by people who were pro-choice. Please remember to vote true and vote blue. Women in your life are dependent on how you vote.